So, starting off in episode 5, we finally get to go see how Asuna is actually a complete monster. You do not want to mess with Asuna. Now, the only thing is that with the anime, it does not show Asuna become this insane monster when it comes to trying to get back Kirito, or at least figure out where he is he safe, and things of that nature. Now in the anime, I was actually just rewatching the episode, and I had to kind of reference the light novel a lot, something I haven't done for episodes 1 through 4. This one I had to reference a lot, and they legit changed so much. In the anime, we basically see, just for a quick little recap, Asuna and Sinon and company basically go down to Minato Ward, where there is a wharf. They find out there's a helipad there, and then they say, okay, well, where did they fly him to? Is he out of the country, or did he get onto some transportation device? And from there on, we see that she basically emails this chick that used to be Heathcliff's lover, and then they hit her up, and then they go over there, and then they're on the Ocean Turtle. That's basically what happens. We kind of see Asuna lose a little bit of faith in her ability to find Kirito. She kind of is like, man, I don't know if I can do this. What am I gonna do? You kind of see her losing faith in this episode until Yui is like, hey, even when Kirito was in Alfheim and he was looking for you, he never lost faith one time. Yeah, so this entire Asuna that we're watching on the anime is completely different from the Asuna in the book, book 10 of Alicization, running right here. I have a bunch of markers that I'm going to be referring to throughout this, so that's why the book is looking a little funky when I picked it up. So the first thing I want to mention is when Kirito gets stabbed, Asuna rides with Kirito in the ambulance to the hospital, and she actually low-key saves his life there. She was able to recall the type of drug that was used to stab Kirito. Thankfully, the reason why she had that knowledge is because they had just recently dealt with this drug through the death gun incident. It was the same exact one used in that incident, so she was able to tell that to the person in the ambulance. They were able to give Kirito some specific drugs to kind of neutralize the effect of what is happening, and then they get him into the emergency room, and then they do the work there. Now we jump forward to ALO, where we see Asuna, Sinon, Lisbeth, Lifa, and Silica kind of sit down and just kind of figure out, who could have taken him, number one, because they recently found out, hey, he ain't at the hospital. So they're like, who could have taken him, and for what reason? Could it have been Nobuyuki Sugo, who was the guy who was trying to get married to Asuna while she was still asleep? But we already know that she was taken to be an experiment, blah, blah, blah. Could it have been somebody else to just try to get revenge on Kirito, or for whatever purpose? They were trying to figure out someone that would need him and why they would need him. So they started listing a lot of things that Kirito was good at. And it just so happened that these things were game-defining attributes. So I wrote down a few of those things, and a few things that they wrote down in the book was the adaptability to any situation. He had quick judgment in those situations, and his survivability. The more that they listed, the more things that it sounded like they need him for a game. So then it travels to Kikuoka. As they're continuing trying to remember different things of maybe what could trigger something to help lead them to the next point, they remember Alice. Artificial labile intelligence, yada yada yada. And so they were like, okay, well, if Alice was used in Wrath and it was from Alice in Wonderworld, or Wonderland, I did that again, it's Alice in Wonderland, what can we kind of try to piece together? Well, they remember, okay, Yui now decides, hey, I'm going to show you all the last places where they went, things of this nature. Now, this is where it's still completely changed. In the anime, it says the Minato Ward and that there is a wharf there. In the book, they actually go to, and I have it right here, they take him to the Tokyo heliport. So while he's over there, everybody kind of gets shocked and they said, wait, he's at a heliport. Does that mean that he could be in a different country? Could he be overseas or anything like that? Yui quickly tells them there's no way that a helicopter could make it overseas. He's got to be somewhere closer than that, but he's not physically in Japan. So after that, they start doing a little bit more research and they say, okay, well, if it could be something like this, where could it be? They continue. Finally, someone mentions like, hey, I remember that there was a turtle pig. And those two animals were supposed to be very important because they were huge in the light novel when it was mentioned at the Dicey Cafe. Asuna remembers, hey, wasn't there something like the turtle pig? And if this is a huge project, shouldn't it be something that has a huge amount of money in the Japanese nation's budget? So Yui again pulls up, does her magic. She goes in and finds the public records for Japan's national budget. She finds this and then she goes, well, there wasn't anything that really stands out. You know, maybe they might be kind of switching money around, you know, kind of like fraud, money over here, and then they all just claim it for one person. But she ends up finding this. And I do want to read the book out of this, and it says, well, Yui said, half closed her eyes again, accessed some distant database, then looked up. It seems the research is on some small drone submarines that can autonomously search for oil and rare metal deposits on the seafloor. The budget in question is for the AI that would pilot the device, but it showed up in my search filter because the amount seemed a bit large for the level of priority. They go on to say, wow, they'll even make robots for stuff like that. I wonder where they're developing that. The project is labeled under Ocean Turtle, a self-propelled mega float completed this February for the purposes of marine research. Then Lifa goes on to say, oh, I remember hearing that in the news. And from the top view, it looked like a turtle. So then they ask to pull up a picture. And they say, hey, it does look like a turtle from the top. But from this angle, it looks like a pig. And then, they just remembered, a turtle pig was in Alice in Wonderland. Wait a minute. We have Alice over here that's talking about the artificial intelligence labile, or artificial labile intelligence. Then we connect it to the budget that just finished this, big, huge thing that looks like a pig turtle, an ocean turtle. Then we connect it down to here and it says, that's a lot of money. It's talking about AIs. They connect the dots, and man, Asuna and Yui and Sinon did so much work, dude. Never did Asuna ever doubt that she was not going to find Kirito. She never had any thoughts like that. She was like determined, man. I mean, boom, 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 boom. She made it happen. Another thing that was a little different in the anime is how they show Asuna off to Kikuoka. Now, we do see Rinko. She does get a little email, and it says, Yuki Asuna. The next scene, we're on a helicopter, Like it's not going to be Asuna. Let's be real. So we kind of saw that coming, but in the book, all we know is that the next day, we think about heading over there, and then it just shoots us into the helicopter. We don't know anything. Then they go through all the security. Asuna pulls off the wig, and then boom, they give them the surprise. Let me tell you who the third one is. I know it's Kirito, so where's he at? Now, she does all of this, and then she tells it and says, hey, I actually sent Rinko an email because I saw it through Kirito's PC and I was able to remember her, and I emailed her. And just to quote that out of the book, it says, I found your email address from the address book on Kirito's PC. You're the only person who could possibly take me to him and to Wrath. Please help me. That's how Asuna's message was to Rinko. And dude, let's be real. Of course, she's going to help. Now, this little situation that I kind of just explained to you is completely different from the one that we see in the anime. The one in the anime, we kind of see Asuna kind of have to get a lot of help from a lot of different people. She kind of, her faith wavers in her ability to find Kirito, whereas in the light novel, she had help still, but she never doubted anything. She found things out a lot quicker, and everything just kind of meshed a little bit better. Now, I can understand why they did this for the anime. It makes sense, right? First, we get to see Klein because we don't see him really in the book. Secondly, they do give a shout out to Yuna because her music was playing in the car ride while they were driving with Klein. Secondly, we do get to see the little Ogma, and it's a little shout out to the Ordinal Scale movie again, just kind of saying, hey, there is reason for the Ordinal Scale movie. It does link them together. It does it very beautifully as well. Very, very beautiful animation on top of that, but it kind of does take away from Asuna being like a complete boss, dude. She was like, yo, this is my man. I'm gonna find him. You ain't gonna stop me. Now, the one last thing that I do want to mention about the AI is that in the book, this isn't, I don't believe it's been mentioned yet. If it is, it's mentioned at a later episode, which I think should be episode 6. But in the book, they talk about it now, so I'm going to talk about it now. Yui mentions an AI of 2 different kinds. There's the top down and there's the bottom up. Now, these 2 things are completely different, even though it sounds like the same directional thing. But this is how the AIs are broken down according to Yui, and I'm just going to make this a short term. Top-down AI is basically like this. I tell the AI the color of the sky is blue. The AI will turn around. If it's asked what color is the sky, it will spit out blue. It will take all these different types of questions and answers, different types of emotions, and then it'll kind of do what Yui does, and it kind of picks out a situation. If somebody's sad, okay, I need to have the sad emotion, I need to do this, I need to react with a softer voice, kind of be more empathetic, and then go about the situation. However, the difference between that is that it's encoded, it's taught, it's written into the AI to project those types of answers. If it does not have an answer for the question that you give it, it kind of has to be like, whoa, 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 hold up, I don't know that. With a bottom-up AI, the easiest way to kind of say it in a quick version is it's a human a human-grown AI. I don't know how else to say it. Everything about the AI is a human-like feature, from the way that it talks, from the way that it acts, from any type of question and answer. If it doesn't know the question, or if it doesn't know the answer, it'll kind of look at you puzzled and say, I can't really say I understand what you're talking about. Can you explain a little more? Or, maybe I can help you find something else out, somebody else that might know the answer. It'll go about it in a human-like way. Now, if you would take that information and apply that to what we've seen so far, what we are seeing is that Wrath is working on building the first ever bottom-up AI, and we see that when it comes to anybody in the underworld. You take a look at Yu-Gi-Oh!, Alice, Selka, Sister Azalea. Anybody that we've encountered so far is a bottom-up AI, and Kirito is kind of in shock. He's like, wow, these people don't act like NPCs, but I know they're not human. What's going on? I know they're AI, but they're not NPCs, and that's the bottom-up AI technology working at its finest. So that's one thing that I thought was extremely cool. Like I said, this episode was done completely different from the book, and it kind of makes Asuna just look like, she's just like some side piece, like maybe an accessory or some jewelry. Like, she can't do anything without Kirito. Nah, fam. She's got it on lockdown. She's a boss. She's got the help. She's got the resources. She is out here to get her mans back. Ain't nobody ever question whose mans is this when it comes to Kirito, because Asuna's always right here saying, yeah, this my man, what's up? So I hope y'all enjoyed this little analysis of this video comparing the episode 5 to the light novel. Like I said, we are in light novel 10 already, and up to this point, we've gone through about 30 pages, give or take, so far. Now, episode 6 is going to cover the next 30, 40 pages, maybe 50. And then the rest will jump right back into Alicization. So there isn't much time that we have with Asuna and the people in the real world, because most of our time is going to be spent in the underworld. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. If there were any parts that I left out that you enjoyed from the book, please let me know down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what I missed out on or what really stood out to you. Thank y'all so much for watching. Much love, God bless, and peace out.